Welcome to the Blue Devil Buddies video exclusively for our mentors. In this video, you'll hear from some familiar faces who will walk you through the Blue Devil Buddies program and some best practices for mentoring our incoming students. We hope to provide some thought-provoking content and important takeaways.
Blue Devil Buddies was created by Duke Student Government this spring in recognition of the difficult and unprecedented circumstances that our incoming students are facing during their transition into the Duke community this summer. While many students, namely our FACS and our transfer advisory counselors, provide supportive mechanisms for incoming students, they mostly focus on short-term peer mentorship. The purpose of Blue Devil Buddies is to foster genuine, long-term connections between matched mentors and mentees. Using algorithms and a sprinkling of intuition, we hope to create mentor-mentee pairs that are not only baseline compatible, but can grow into something beneficial and meaningful to both parties.
Each of you has a unique opportunity to impart key insights about the collegiate experience and make a significant and long-lasting positive impact on someone's Duke experience. This can and will make all the difference for your mentee as they acclimate to Duke, which for many can be an unfamiliar and challenging environment at first. Today, I thank you for your commitment to your new peers and to our university. Your participation as a mentor in the Blue Devil Buddies program is greatly appreciated by so many.
In the next few minutes, we'll be highlighting 2 key points. First, how to meet your mentee where they are. Second, how to pass along pro tips while staying conscious of your own opinions. Our shared goal is to provide as much value to the mentee as possible.
Imagine you're meeting your mentee for the first time and you're curious about their background. You may ask them, "Where does your mom work?" While you may have meant well, this question assumes things about your mentee that you may take for granted. First, that they have a mother figure and that she is in the picture. Second, that she's employed. Either of these could be a very personal topic and accidentally create an unwelcoming environment for your mentee. So when asking questions, especially at the beginning of your relationship, phrase them neutrally and openly so that they can share as much or little with you as they like. For example, you can ask, "Who is part of your family?" Simple things like this will help them feel more comfortable. As a mentor, you may be one of the first current Duke students that they get to know really well. Take this seriously. It has the potential to get them really excited about Duke or get them really worried about the start of their first year. For a lot of students, this is an opportunity for them to break out of their old identities and be their more authentic self. You can help them do that by meeting them where they are at.
In your time at Duke, think about the things that upperclassmen or peers gifted you. Maybe it's the backyards into the loop, their favorite spot in Perkins, or helping you relax during your first midterm season. These little things have the potential to create a huge positive impact in your experience and make you feel a little more confident on campus. This program is meant to give our mentees a similar feeling.
Your mentee may have a good idea of what their interests are, or they may still be in the process of exploring and fleshing out those interests. Either way, emphasize resources such as Duke groups, pre-professional advising, and the team in the Duke Career Center. Reaffirm to them that it's okay not to have postgraduate plans in mind. In fact, most students at this stage don't. Finally, encourage students to both build on existing interests, explore new ones, and build competencies that will provide them with abundant opportunities at Duke and beyond.
If the topic comes up, don't hesitate to have honest conversations about your personal experience with selectivity at Duke, whether it's with clubs, focus, or living groups. Remind your mentees that rejection is often not personal, and it's not an evaluation of their talents or their value as a person.
As a mentor, you might also end up confronting serious, sensitive, and often deeply personal situations. Possible scenarios include mental health, body image issues, gender violence, academic difficulty, or lack of a supportive community. Please take the following advice seriously in order to face such scenarios appropriately.
Ironically, one of the best traits of a good mentor is listening more and giving less advice. So it's important as you go into this role with a new student that you create space and time for them to talk about what's most important to them. Try to refrain from pushing them into talking about things they're not comfortable with, and really focus on spending time listening, following up, and just tuning in to what they want to say.
If a situation comes up that is too serious for you to handle, do not attempt to address the problem on your own. It is okay to say, "I do not have a lot of experience with this. However, I would be happy to connect you with some of Duke's resources. I'm sure they would love to help. Refer them to the resources Duke has to support students, which can be found in your resource guide. Feel free to share this guide with them as well. Don't forget to also take care of yourself.
While promoting honesty about personal experiences is important, be wary of turning mentees away from Duke resources, such as CAPS or Duke Reach, because of your individual experience. It's important to be neutral in pointing your mentee to resources that may help them, even if they didn't help you. Duke Reach and CAPS are great starting points for referring your mentee to more resources.
For urgent concerns, call the Duke Police, your RA on call, or the Dean on call. For off-campus emergencies, dial 911. If you're aware of a Duke student who has experienced or perpetrated sexual or gender-based harassment or violence, you can contact the Women's Center or Duke Reach for support. More information about Duke student conduct policies can be found on Duke's Student Affairs website and will also be distributed to you in person when you come to campus. To be clear, Duke's policy prohibits retaliation against anyone for reporting sexual misconduct or acts as a witness for an investigation of a report. Filling out a Duke Reach report will also connect you with the appropriate authority figures. The link to that will be in the description below. Remember, it's important that you make sure your mentee is safe. You're a trusted mentor to them. Be sure to act as such. Now let's go over some possible scenarios and solutions.
Let's say your mentee comes to you and says they feel completely overwhelmed. They're missing their hometown and their friends, they're finding it hard to get out of bed, and they barely have enough energy to do anything. First, listen to your mentee and what they're saying. Sometimes a shoulder to cry on or a sympathetic ear is all that someone needs. Refrain from making your own diagnosis. If it's helpful, you can share your own experience, but be mindful that oftentimes they just want someone to talk to, not necessarily to get advice from. If you suspect your mentee is dealing with some serious mental health issues, suggest contacting CAPS. But be cognizant of the fact that people come from many different cultures and varied family backgrounds, and it may be difficult for your mentee to even entertain the idea of going to CAPS or getting counseling. Offer them support in whatever way you can. If the situation is very serious, contact Duke Reach. Blue Devils Care is another resource you can always refer them to.
It's likely that your mentee will come to you with questions about academics. Let's say they feel they are struggling with a difficult class. They might be disappointed that they don't know how to perform well academically. It might be the first time they've ever struggled with school. Reassuring them is a great place to start. It's important to let them know that their grade in the class is not indicative of how smart or talented they are. One struggle does not define them or indicate their ability to succeed. Let them know that first years often struggle making this adjustment and that they are far from alone. Imposter syndrome is a very real feeling, but remind them that everyone who is at Duke belongs here. Referring them to the Academic Resource Center is another great step. At the ARC, they will have access to learning consultations, peer tutoring, and study groups. Making an appointment with a learning consultant is extremely helpful. They can get strategies for effective time management, balancing their study, work, and extracurricular activities, taking notes effectively, and more.
It's no secret that social life can be a large part of someone's Duke experience. Your mentee may come to you eager about things like how to have the best experience. However, you may end up dealing with some more serious issues as well, including excessive use of alcohol and drugs or sexual misconduct. Remember that your number one priority is to make sure your mentee is safe. They are trusting you to help them make the right decisions.
Thank you again from the bottom of our hearts for volunteering to be a mentor in the Blue Devil Buddies program. The admissions office works very hard each year to create an extraordinary class and to welcome these students into our Duke community. We're excited to see how each of your mentees grow during this experience, and we wish you all the best in building this relationship. Thank you again.
Thank you for your time and dedication.
You all rock. Good luck and be well.